Our original religion is peace. Om Shanti means I am a soul and my nature is peace. And Baba says that as soon as the soul is separate from the body, you are nothing but peace. That's your stage. So, when the soul leaves the body, what is the stage of the soul? Peace. And you see that there are many people who go through near-death experiences where for a few moments they are clinically dead. And in those moments, they are nothing but peace. They feel like they are surrounded by peace. And these are some points of magic in this predestined drama where they come back and they tell that when I was not in this body, I was very peaceful. It was a rare kind of peace. And then they try to tell people that that's who you really are. So don't go into this body consciousness. And Baba says, that's your nature. So when the soul is separate from the body, then it is only peace, no thought of this old world. And you see, when we think about the old world, because of attachment, because of ego, when we think about the old body, old relationships, that is what takes away our peace. Otherwise, what is our nature? It is peace. What is our swadharma, original religion? It is peace. You get a glimpse of this truth when you are in deep sleep also. So you see, when the soul goes to sleep, then what do? You detach yourself from the body. And Jagdish Bhai Sahib used to say that there are many people who say that I cannot stop my thoughts, or I cannot withdraw from the thoughts of the old world. But if it was so, then you could never sleep. Because how do you go to sleep? When you go to sleep, your mind is thinking about this physical body and the world associated with it. But there comes a point where you tell yourself, I'm not thinking about this anymore, now I want to sleep. And you just make a decision. That's a decision that the soul takes. And then you withdraw from the consciousness and the thinking of this old body and world. And then you detach, as you slowly, gradually detach from the awareness of the body and the physical world, you go into the state of deep sleep where you experience peace. And that peace is so recharging in nature that your mind, your body, everything gets relaxed. All the aches and pains go away. So that is also an example of the truth that when the soul is detached from the body, what it experiences is absolute peace. And so Baba says, when you are in the soul world, you are absolutely peaceful. But what you can do now is practice soul consciousness. Just let go of the thinking and awareness of the body and the old world and come to the awareness of the soul and stabilize yourself in the original religion of the soul, which is peace. That's why, sometimes meditation is called conscious sleep. We would not say meditation is conscious sleep because we understand that meditation means remembering Baba. But we would say soul consciousness is conscious sleep. So when you are consciously withdrawing and detaching from this old body and world, that is like sleep state with eyes open. And in that state also you feel the relaxation and the peace that sleep gives you. So this is something, and Baba says that you must stabilize yourself in your original religion, and then you must also remember your stage when you were in Satyug. Now you see that, have you seen that these days there are makeup artists who decorate the face in a very, beautiful way. And you see these work of art where, a very ordinary face is turned into a very attractive face through makeup. And when you see that, then you have a glimpse of what you couldn't imagine. Yes, so you see that face and you think, oh, this face can look like this also, just by applying makeup. And then you start having a different vision towards that face. That face which looked very ordinary, now you know that it can look so beautiful also, or I don't know whether beautiful, but at least attractive. So you know that it can look so attractive also. So Baba says similarly, in your body consciousness, you don't think that you the soul can have this feature of being Satyugi. Yes, we never think that I can be free from all vices, Sarvagun Sampan, full of all virtues and full of 16 celestial degrees and completely pure. So you never think about like that until Baba comes. But Baba says that that is your Satyugi stage, where you, the soul, are free from every vice, full of all virtues, and you have perfection in every action, your vision, your walking, talking, eating, everything you do is 100% perfect. And then you are Maryada Purushottam. You don't need to understand from others what are your boundaries or how you conduct yourself. You have the highest conduct. And then you are ahimsa paramo dharma. There is no violence ever committed by you. So Baba says that this is your Satyugi stage. And Baba says that now I come and I make you Swadarshan Chakradhari, which means I show you this Satyugi face. You never imagined it. It was not in your awareness that you could be like this. But I show you that through knowledge. Some people had visions also, but mostly we Brahmins understand through knowledge that I have this completely pure and beautiful state. And what is the basis of the Satyugi stage? The basis of the Satyugi stage is we are soul conscious. So in Satyug, why are we completely viceless? Why are we completely pure, full of all virtues and 16 celestial degrees, because there is one thing which stands out, which is everybody is absolutely soul conscious and you are operating inside out. You are not attached to anything outside. You are absolutely operating inside out. And Baba says that now I have come here to give you the understanding and the power to operate soul consciously. You have been body conscious for 63 births. What is body conscious? Operating outside in. So the basis of your thought, word, act is outside. So in body consciousness, people, places, things, desires, pursuit of attainment is the reason why we engage in thought, word and action. But in soul consciousness, you don't do to get, you do because you are. So that's the difference. And when you operate inside out, then every act is an expression of your inner state, full state, and that act also gives you satisfaction. But when you operate outside in, then with every act you are coming from emptiness, and then your expectation is never fulfilled, and then you also are left disappointed most of the time. So this is the difference between, today Baba says that ask everybody, are we in Satyug or in Kalyug? And then tell everybody what is the difference between Satyug and Kalyug. So, I always think about this thing that people say that we want moksha and we don't want to come into this cycle of birth and death. And why do they want moksha? Because they don't want sorrow, right? And they equate sorrow with life. So they think that wherever there is life, there is sorrow. But Baba tells us that for two yugas, for 2500 years, you are in life but without sorrow. And why are you without sorrow? Because there is no body consciousness. And body consciousness means I and mine consciousness. So it is because of the I and mine that you are in sorrow. And Baba says, I change that now for you. I teach you that the real I is the soul. So you start operating from I am a soul and mine is one Baba and none other. So change your I and mine to I am a soul and mine is one Shiv Baba. And when you change that, then you will again go get ready to go back to that world of happiness. I will tell you one incident. It's a very particularly, insightful thing. So there is this brother, he plays professional golf in some country, and he was telling me some days back that, when I was little, I had this liking for golf, and I started playing because I loved the sport. And because I loved it so much, I started playing professionally. And when I started playing professionally, now I don't like it that much. And he said, why? Because every time I play professionally, there is a big baggage attached to it. So he said that when we enter tournaments, we have to pay a fees, and that fees is very high. So the first thought is you have to earn more than what you paid. And that is the first pressure we start taking. And then all through the game, it's not the fun of the game, there is no entertainment. There is just this thing that I have to make money, I have to hit goals, and then there is this thing that what if this didn't go well, or what if we lost this tournament? So there is constant fear and constant scrutiny and tension and ego about something, and then there is comparison that if somebody played better, then they are earning more money. So now it's not about the competition in the sport, but it's the competition in the earning. So then you're thinking about, why is that person making more money than me? And then he said, now even when I go to exercise or go to the gym, earlier I used to enjoy that, but now I think I'm doing this just to be a better sports person. So even that has become a burden. So then he said, should I leave golf? So then I told him, you are saying the same thing that people say about life, that because there is sorrow, let's not come into the cycle. But the reason for the sorrow is not the life. So the reason for your tension or your state of mind is not the golf, it's your attitude. So similarly, when we were in Satyug, what was our attitude? We were here to express. We were not here to expect. We were here to express. We were full. We came here with this internal realization that I am a knowledgeful, peaceful, loveful, joyful, powerful soul. And when you were full, then you came here to express. And when we came here to express, everything was good, because it was expressing and then feeling what you expressed. Now when you talk peacefully, when you talk lovefully, when you do actions peacefully, what do you get? You get the thing you created, right? So you feel peaceful, you feel loveful. So that is how it worked in Satyug. And then now what happened is we became very body conscious, because Ravan taught us to do everything with expectation. Yes, so we became very selfish and exploitative. And whenever we look at something, we think about what this can give me. So we don't look at anything respectfully. We look at it as an object of gratification, and then we want to exploit everything. And in that exploitation, our attitude gives us pain, and then when we are not able to satisfy ourselves because we are trying to fill a spiritual vacuum with physical resources, so that also makes us more and more empty. So this is why we are feeling the pain and the sorrow that we are feeling. So Baba says, now I teach you to do actions which are different from how you did them when you had no knowledge. And Baba says, be soul conscious. When you're soul conscious, you remember the knowledge of the soul, you remember the knowledge of the father of the soul or the companion of the soul, and you remember the knowledge of the drama. So what is the knowledge of the soul? that you are pure, peaceful, blissful, powerful, loveful. Yes? So that's the knowledge of the soul. What is the knowledge of the Father? That the Father is almighty and He is with you always. And what is the knowledge of the drama? The knowledge of the drama says that whenever you are presented with any scene, you have a pre-recording in you which already knows and tells you what to do in that scene. So you are never in a scene for the first time. It is nothing new. And you already have the recording of how to deal with it. So when you are soul conscious and in remembrance of Baba, you are in a very powerful stage. And Baba says that now you start doing action because you know that you are on the field of action and you don't do anything to get something, but you do it in soul consciousness and remembrance of Baba, because that is the scene that's presented to you and that's what you have to do in that situation. Got it? So whenever you are in front of somebody, then you understand that this person cannot be difficult for me because I have dealt with this every cycle. And then I know how to deal with it. And I also have Baba with me, and I have the powers and virtues which will help me deal with this. So you are not expecting anything from the person, you are not expecting any change in the scene, but you are just operating out of soul consciousness and remembrance of Baba. And your aim is to settle the karmic account. So Baba says that now I teach you how to do whatever you are doing. So in what consciousness? So you always do everything in soul consciousness and in remembrance of Baba. And why to do? Why are you doing what you're doing? You're not doing it because it will give you profit or appreciation or approval or win you more subscribers and likes or whatever it does to you. You're doing it because you want to settle karma. So whatever situation is in front of you, when you respond to it peacefully, lovingly, happily, powerfully, in a state of purity, in a state of stability, then it gets settled. And what is your aim? Your aim is to go back home and come back to the world of happiness. So you want to settle your accounts. So how to do, why to do is clear when we come to Baba. And then Baba also tells us that your physical requirements, so you know what we call vyavahar. So you have a body, you have relationships, you have a work, yes, you need finances. So Baba says, you don't worry about that. You keep doing what I have asked you to do and the way I have asked you to do and with the aim with which I have asked you to do that, and I will take care of the other stuff. Yes. And Baba says that I will take care of the other stuff doesn't mean that I will raise your children or I will I will do your job for you. But Baba says you go to the job, you take care of the children, but do it in the consciousness that I teach you and with the purpose with which I teach you. And when you do that, then you will make the profit that is, that you need. Your children will also create the future that is good for them. So Baba says that don't worry about the return. Do it the right way and the return will naturally come. And don't be fixated with the return. Be fixated and be, concerned about settling your karmic accounts. And then Baba says that apart from this, also create the karma of creating a better world. So along with this, do seva. So invest your body, mind, wealth, time, energy in doing godly service. So the service of creating deities from humans. So Baba says, I teach you this new method, how to do everything in soul consciousness, how to do everything in remembrance of Baba, and not use the motivation of lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed. And also, apart from that, become full of divine virtues while you conduct yourself. And then when you did this for one birth, you will again go back to that stage of fullness where you will again operate inside out. So Baba says, remember that, remember your past, remember your story of 84 births, and remember your previous births, how you were in your previous births, how you were in Satyug, how you operated soul consciously. And now you are in the age of darkness, where you started doing everything under the influence of vices. And now take my Shrimat and turn that around, and you will again go back to the world where you do everything in soul consciousness. So this is something that Baba is reminding us today. And then there is one very important thing that Baba says in the Murli, that you become the master of the world, or you create a new world through yoga power. Yes, and Baba says in Satyug you also give birth through yoga power. But right now you create a new world through yoga power. And is that possible, to create a new world through yoga power? Yes. So you see, there are some things which not immediately they make sense. You have to think about it. Now just think about how this world is becoming worse and worse every day because of yoga, isn't it? You see, one person is sad, and then you're thinking about them, and then you also become sad, and then there are two people spreading the same vibration because you have yoga with people, places, things. Yes, and Baba says that when you have yoga with the impure world, what you do is you create a more impure world day by day. Are we not doing that? Yes. So our relationships are imperfect, body is imperfect, and circumstances are imperfect. And then we have yoga with all of them. And what is the basis of yoga? I and mine. So when you think I am the body and my relationships, my circumstances are mine, then you have yoga with them. And when you have yoga with them, then their quality becomes your quality. That's the principle of yoga. And then instead of one person in pain or one person disturbed, there are two people disturbed. And then instead of one situation being bad, you become the creator of another bad situation. Yes, so this is how the negativity in the world is increasing day by day. And in Hindi, we always say we have dard ka rishta with everybody, relationship of sorrow. Because people say that you may not participate in somebody's happiness, and that is okay, but you must participate in everybody's sorrow. And what that means is you go there and you also behave in the same magnitude of sorrow as they are. And when you do that, what's happening is you're multiplying the sorrow in the world. And Baba tells us that now I am asking you to remove your buddhi's yoga from the body and the world of matter and the relationships and bring them to the awareness of you, the soul, and have yoga with me. And Baba says, whether you wake up, eat, drink, walk, talk, always do it in my remembrance. And who am I? I am the ocean of purity, ocean of peace, ocean of love, ocean of power. So when you have yoga with me, what will be your vibration? You will be peaceful, loveful, pure, joyful, powerful. And Baba says, when you do everything in that vibration, and because the nature of the world is to copy you, so everybody who has yoga with you will start copying that. And then others will start copying them. And this is how you can create a new world. So, have you seen that? There was this one Mata and she was talking in a strange accent. And I asked her, your accent sounds a little different today. And then she said, I was watching a TV series and I tend to pick on the accent of the ones I watch. And then she said, I've picked that accent from there. So you see, you hear somebody talking in a certain way and then you start picking on their accent. You start picking on their language. You start picking on their thought process. You start picking on their belief system also. Yes. So Baba says that when you are in remembrance of me, you have yoga with me, then every thought, word and act that you do is knowledgeful and powerful. And that whatever you speak, how you behave is in alignment with your spiritual nature. And then anybody who you have a conversation with or anybody who you keep company with in the physical world, they also start picking on your language and your thought process and your belief system and how you conduct yourself with dignity and love in every second. So Baba says this is so subtle that just like when we have yoga with impure souls and the impure world, day by day the impurity in the world multiplies. Similarly, when you have yoga with me, then one person, one soul having yoga with me and doing everything in my remembrance and in my yoga in this world will start creating a huge force, and then others will also follow, and slowly, gradually, this whole world will change into heaven. So Baba says that when you have yoga with me, you can create a better, newer world with that yoga power. Okay, Om Shanti.